back, Star Pilots, to the first game of 3 in our NYC X-Wing Store Championship coverage. I'm Jiggity J Peoples, your friendly neighborhood Jaws.
And I'm Cal Neuvost.
Today we're featuring tournament footage from the Store Championships at the Compleat Strategist in Midtown Manhattan on February 7th, 2015. We had 21 pilots that day. That's the most we've ever had in NYC X-Wing tourney, which was really exciting.
We're here in the third round of the 5 Swiss rounds we played that day. We did not cut to an elimination bracket, so these 5 games count down to the very last ship. We're going to show you the last 3 rounds over the course of these videos. This is the first one of those videos.
At the top table today we have Joe B on the left and John DiMaggio on the right. These are the current standings in the round, playing on the top 3 tables.
Both of these pilots come in undefeated, but John swept his first 2 games.
Baller.
Joe is still doing pretty well for himself in second place. He had a very painful margin of victory of 173 against me last round. I don't want to talk about it. Third place, James B is currently playing 4th place, Matt K, and David R in 5th is playing Alex D in 6th.
John's flying Whisper with Veteran Instincts, Advanced Cloaking Device, and Fire Control System. He's also got Shiri in the rear, in the Decimator, I mean, with Rebel Captive dishing out some stress. We'll see him use Isan to trigger Expose with his experimental interface as well, which is a really neat combo. Kudos to him for that. He's at 99 points.
Joe is showing here that a 4-ship Rebel squad can still be a force to be reckoned with in the right hands. He's controlling pilot skill with swarm tactics on both Aaron Kraken and Rourke, who's also got the blaster turret, recon specialist for the extra focus, and the Moldy Crow title to hold on to him. A blue B-wing with an ion cannon and fire control system, and finally a rookie X-wing with R3A2, the neutral stress droid.
Stressing out. Okay, so our asteroids have been placed. We have a pretty good spread pattern here with 3 in the middle. So I guess this would be, a typical, any type of swarm versus big ship sort of thing.
Right. We've got the 3 outliers, put as much in the corners as possible, and then the 3 in the middle to make as much of a ruckus as possible.
Indeed.
2 totally different looks at how to place asteroids.
So we're placing here in the first round. Who do you think actually has the advantage here as far as these builds go?
I think this is...
as far as asteroid placement,
I mean, I think both pilots did what they set out to do with their asteroids, so there's kind of an even look at that. I think it's always... It's tough to put guns on Whisper, just unless you're a turret. So Joe coming in with these 4 guns. He does have 1 turret in the blaster cannon of the Moldy Crow.
With the limitation of range too, though.
Okay.
So,
so Whisper will be able to get out of that pretty consistently, probably.
Hopefully, yeah. As far as John plans to fly this, he does want to stay out of that blaster turret as much as possible.
So that has to be what he's most worried about here. Otherwise, he can run circles around the straightforward arcs and simple dials of the B-Wing, the Z, and the X-Wing.
But even then, the 3 dice coming from the blaster turret are still going up against the 4 dice from a cloaked Whisper. Rourke is not going to be shooting first.
No, he will be because of swarm tactics on both Aaron Kraken and Rourke. Rourke makes pilots pilot skill 12. He is definitely outbid on pilot skill. Joe is going to be firing with his cascading
My mistake,
swarm tactics.
Yes. I was assuming Janors for some reason, but yes, we did just say Rourke. So Rourke will be shooting first.
So that's definitely,
and Kraken will be shooting
something
first.
That plays well against the Phantoms that we're seeing.
Right. That is the Phantom counter, which pretty much every competitive list should have some sort of mechanic in flying.
John is setting up in the corners here. He's got an angle on both and has separated his ships as much as possible. Joe, on the other hand, is keeping most of his ships together, but has decided to have the Hawk move through the asteroids slightly off the margins from the rest of his ships.
I have to admit, that's the first time I've seen our infamous two-ship builds being placed at the corners like that as a starting position.
It's strange. I mean, I can understand why he'd want to control the margins. He'd want to control the areas where there are the fewest asteroids. Mm-hmm. But he is really completely separating his ships here. John knew full well that Joe had already parked out in that lower left-hand corner when he placed Shiri and Whisper. So I am curious how he plans to come together.
Right. With an already limited fire capacity that you have with two ships, spreading those ships out just completely nerfs your build to begin with. So if he's going to fly out here, and we do see him going out to the right, getting closer to Whisper, is he really just trying to open up his opening options and then hopefully bring them together? I think that would be the wisest thing to do.
This way, perhaps he can draw Joe through the asteroid
Through the
field.
asteroids, too. Right. So, other than that, a real advantage to starting ships out and keeping them spread out is not the way to go, but hopefully he finds a nice way to bring them together in the next couple movement rounds.
While normally the focuses in the first round tend not to matter unless both players are being very aggressive, that Moldy Crow title on the Hawk is going to allow it to retain the two focuses that it takes every round, and then use that as ammunition. One must spend a focus token to use the blaster turrets that's on the Hawk, and that will never be a problem. He'll still be able to have another focus to change those eyeballs, and that's just a really, really powerful combo. One doesn't usually expect the Crow to hit hard until all of a sudden there's 3 dice coming at you, and from a totally different angle than you expected.
Mm-hmm. So here we have the 3-ship formation, trying to hone in on the Decimator, trying to stay together as much as possible. After moving forward a little bit, here we have Rourke moving 3 forward, trying to close that space, and edging around that asteroid, hopefully, with the next round of movement. So now we have 3 focus tokens on Rourke.
Where is Shiri headed? Another 3
Okay,
bank.
3 bank, okay. So he is bringing them together nicely here, but in the next round, I don't see Shiri getting out of firing arcs.
I'm worried about that. I mean, I suppose if with a 4 forward and then... Oh, right, there's no boost on this list. I'm so used to the Decimator.
Oh yeah, yes. This build in particular, yes, does not have boost. Opted for experimental interface.
Otherwise, the combo wouldn't work nearly as well.
Right, and here's our first crash of the game, with Rourke bumping into a little bee there.
That was Aaron Kraken bumping into the bee.
Yeah, right.
Where is Whisper decloaking, if Whisper is decloaking? And what is John pointing to?
So John is, as we know from our previous videos, is very careful, very well thought out in all of his movements, including and through the activation phase.
We're glad that he's moved to 2-ship builds. They're probably healthier for him than a swarm. Or at least he'll finish more games.
Right. So, being that the Whisper has so many more options of movement, we'll see how he follows through in these
Whisper recloaks
activation phases. Yeah. Oh, that's a recloak from Whisper. Okay. So this should be our last round of movement. Here comes
The last round of movement. We've already
last
gotten
round
to,
of
geez, this is
the
gonna be a
last-
real massacre
last
here.
round of movement.
Oh, man.
Prior to firing.
Uh-oh,
so.
wow, that's real close to that rock. What? Okay.
Yeah,
no,
he's
no,
trying
no.
to get as far forward as possible without acquiring that stress from the 3 bank.
Right, right.
And the X-Wing will definitely move forward to the 3 bank.
Wants to catch this
Yeah,
decimator.
the Desi before he can get much further out of
I almost
ranges.
wonder if just going like a 1 forward here might be almost the safest thing to do. Keep only clipped, maybe even a little bit behind that. Would you go for that or the 4 forward or something totally different?
With the decimator right now?
Yeah, if you were John and you're trying not to have...
If I'm trying not to die.
You're trying not to die horribly to all of these big guns
To
being
these-
pointed
yes.
at you.
I would take a 2 turn. Why not? 2 turn to the right.
I think that might put you on the rock up there.
I don't think it would.
Okay.
It's hard to tell from here in this
No, you're right.
in this Jaw's eye view, but I think I would like that because it would lead to some more kiting, I guess. And if you go forward here, you're just going to be in all of their guns. You see what I mean?
All of the terrible.
all of the bad. But I believe Rourke just squeaked by
Oh my
the
God.
B. What a move there.
What a pro. That Joe.
That Joe Pro. Joe Pro.
Just hanging out there with
2008. What?
6 focus tokens. Whenever he takes his arm back, we'll find out. He's making little focus token stacks. A
Yeah.
2 forward. That's
2
not
forward,
the compromise I was expecting. I wasn't expecting.
So all of
that's
us were
strange.
wrong. Including you folks at home.
Tweet us at NYC X-Wing if you guessed that John would go 2 forward.
Yes.
And tell us that we're wrong.
Please.
And then we'll say that you made that up afterwards.
Absolutely.
See, it's
A little
still,
teaser,
it's still
little
range 3.
little teaser of our
Right,
live
here's-
stream to
yeah.
come. Oh, there weren't
This
supposed to
is
know
going
about
to be
that.
a range 3 here. This is interesting. This isn't as awful as it could be, I suppose.
For who? For John?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, I see some range 3s in there at least from both of the X-Wing and the B-Wing.
Yeah.
And I see at least 1 die coming from Rourke in that range 3 shot.
Yay, yeah, and I mean, I guess
so-
on the decimator, that's still
right,
pretty
so-
likely to actually land something.
So here we're still in action, choosing an action, and we take a target lock from the decimator onto Rourke. Would you go for Rourke or would you go for Kraken first? Now
Kraken, he probably couldn't have even done. That was
No,
further
I understand that, but now that you have the option, would you go first for Rourke, or would you do your damnedest to chase down Kraken? I think
I
would-
think
I
Rourke
would
is
do my-
particularly scary because of the turret, but you're right, Kraken's and Rourke is dishing out the pilot skill 12. I think Rourke has to be the thing that you're most afraid of here as a Phantom player.
And Joe played him pretty aggressively. He did move forward very quickly with Rourke.
And was willing to dance through the asteroids,
Yeah.
which presumably is what John was trying to accomplish here.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense because his real utility is within range 1 and 2 with the blaster turret. But at the same time, you kind of want to protect him. So I guess early in the game, it makes sense to really push him out there and do what he can while he can still be alive, and then have like some X-Wings and B-Wings late in the game, which can be pretty devastating, right?
Whisper
So let's...
decloaked to her right there and then went 2 forward. She's right in front of that rock, but will get a range 3 shot to decloak with.
Yeah, let's see what sort of action is being decided upon by the Air Whisper. John, what's your decision?
Don't be afraid of a little silence. We can wait. This is gonna be a long game.
I can't imagine how much pain
Just relax
Joe
for a second.
must have gone through. But
Just hanging out there using his
that's what
vaporizer.
leads to excellent execution by John, is the
Exactly.
his thought process, which I just love to be a part of his mind, inside of his mind. Just want to
Pick that sexy brain of his.
take little bits of it, put it on top of mine. What? Okay, so let's
Whatever
let's
would
move
let
over
us
here.
gain his power.
John is going to.
Action for
Looks like he's got a
Whisper
focus token in his
is
hand.
gonna be.
And now Joe is punching out to Joe to take a damn action.
aggressive
furious right
fingers
now.
happening here.
Now I know Joe has not been shy about calling me on time before in the past. So I know
Alright,
I
there
know
goes
Joe
the
loves
focus.
playing. I know Joe loves playing against John. But he I know he gets frustrated. But let's see. Okay. So do we have shots here? We have the.
Right, John.
The pilot skill trade-offs here, so
Right.
now we get to see who shoots first. It looks like the B-Wing was given option for pilot skill 12.
but doesn't have the shot.
Doesn't shot the
on-
shot on the Phantom, but does look like he has a shot on the Decimator. And there is 3 hits. 2 focuses and a hit.
Good old-
Using the
good old
focus from the
focus.
B-Wing.
I think that was 3 focuses. He
Oh, was it
seemed
3
to
focuses?
turn-
Oh,
he
he was
seemed
all
to turn
three?
every die.
Oh, man.
Who puts the ion token down? Is it the person?
He used the ion cannon.
Oh, indeed.
That's
The guy who doesn't have ions generally.
okay. That could be very dangerous.
So he is now 1 of 2 ionized. Sherry's feeling some
This guy was 12.
electricity.
My next goes on 4.
The chain of swarm tactics continues. Or no, never mind. We're moving over to
So we have a range 3 through the asteroid from the Phantom with 1 hit and 2 focuses. So 3 hits coming at a 1 focus. So it's going to be a shield and is going to be
That's a good
a
point.
shield. I don't see a damage card being drawn, although it would make sense that it would be 3 hits.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Admiral C.
That really does just look like the 1 focus.
It does indeed.
Range 3.
Hmm.
But
Whatever.
let's see.
What do we
Let's
know?
move forward. Yeah. And now we get Sherry here taking his shot. It looks like on Rourke.
Hitting 2 crits.
And a target lock will be used. And that must have been range 2 on Rourke.
1 hit.
Range 2.
Because oh no, sorry, no, it was a crit and 2 hits
No red maneuvers.
on Rourke.
Okay.
So then there were 2 evades rolled
And he just
and to
took
take the crit. Yep. And it looks like automatically receiving a stress there.
Okay, then my
No, that's a crit token.
Oh, that's a crit token.
Yeah.
My mistake.
We're seeing Rourke fire back with his 1 die. He didn't roll anything. Poor Rourke. Gotta get in range 2.
I gotta say this. I don't want to say it, but I got it.
I'm willing to guess. Oh right, we already checked for.
3 obstructed.
We just have the X-Wing up next, I believe.
Oh,
Looks like it. 3 dice at range 3. Probably through the asteroid.
Right, that's probably what they're talking about.
And
The mutual
it's
stress.
Mutual
droid.
stress. It is.
There we
They.
go.
Yep.
R3
So now-
A2.
So now, an ionized, half ionized decimator with a stress is gonna have a tough time.
Joe puts together such creative and yet such incredibly effective lists.
Mhm.
He's so willing to use just a few strange things that come together so beautifully.
It's like art,
Just gorgeous.
indeed.
Here comes
2
the
forward from a B.
focus.
Let's see if the B can stay within range.
X-Wing's gonna do
Oh, sorry, within
straight
firing
to the
arc
above.
of the Phantasm. The X-Wing is going to move straight and bump into Rourke.
I lose my stress.
Getting a little bit forward, losing the stress.
Yep,
No action. though.
and then trying to get
He's gonna do 2
keep that firing arc as wide as possible. Makes sense.
Rourke needs to get into at least range 2 to do, anything.
Sorry, yeah. Thank you.
So,
And another 2 bank
2 bank,
to
okay.
try to
Right, it would have been.
make that an effect. And we see another stress, or sorry, another focus token coming in. Oh no, it was a target lock. Okay, target lock on the Phantom. Makes sense.
Okay.
I guess he's being optimistic and
I think
hoping that
it just feels like he has enough focuses already. He's got one to get off the
blaster turret.
the blaster turret, another to change any eyeballs, and with the target lock, can't miss. So if he gets a chance to shoot at Whisper here, Whisper is in trouble.
Yeah, and but I say optimistic because I mean, how can you really expect the Phantom to be within range 2 right now? I mean, he's still really far. You know, would it have? Is he just planning maybe a couple rounds ahead to maybe be within that range 2 next
That's a
to
good
the following
question.
round?
Maybe.
Because I mean, right now you have a Decimator that still has 14 hull, and you're really within some good range there as well of it to do some blaster turret damage.
Right.
This is definitely range 2. So it's a trade-off. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try to take down the Phantom as fast as possible, which should be anyone's really goal when facing a Phantom list. But again, you have some opportunity here to deal some damage to the defenseless Decimator.
The defenseless Decimator. Jeez. Oh man.
The daringly defensive.
So you really don't like his
defenseless
position?
Decimator.
Is what you're saying?
Well,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
say
not
that.
good.
It's it's a thing.
This definitely isn't looking good for John and his Decimator here.
Right.
All guns are pointed.
Even then, yeah, you still got.
And we're getting a target lock on Shiri. Look at those red target locks piling up next to the Ion token.
So now John is going to decide what to do with the Whisper here. Doesn't have an option to decloak on the left. Doesn't have an option really to decloak forward. So is he going to decloak to the right as forward as possible or as back as possible, depending on what his final move is?
Maybe even not decloak. Oh, no,
Or
definitely decloak.
decloaking. Dak cloaking to the right as back as possible, and a 2 bank towards these rebels, these scum. They can't really say rebel scum anymore, right? Because you're just
Right,
gonna confuse
that'd be a
people
little bit confusing.
with the new meta, right? Or with the new
So this is scary. A pilot skill 12 B-Wing is going to get a pretty good shot on Whisper before she can decloak. I do not think that this is where John wants to be at all here. I think this is.
This is going to be an ion cannon from the B-Wing, and very maybe so a blaster turret from the Rourke as well.
You think that's range 2?
I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it could possibly, and if it is, it will be devastating to that Whisper. This is exactly where Joe wants to be.
So
against
I
John
wonder,
right now.
John might be considering a barrel roll here, perhaps?
To get out of the firing arc of the B-Wing, yes.
And if you can't do that, I'd almost just consider recloaking. Just
yeah,
like
you can't afford damage and ion from the B-Wing because you're dead next round. You know?
it would just make you entirely too predictable to have that ionization.
Absolutely. Now this is definitely a close call. It's like, are you going to be out of range?
Looks like he's going for it.
He's going for it. The barrel roll to the right, as back as possible.
Just wants to get away.
Away!
Now will that be?
Yeah, is that going to be enough?
B-Wing's
That looks like it
firing?
might. The arc might catch the back right corner. Who knows?
He's considering moving forward for that exact reason, I imagine.
Forward. Oh, indeed, yes.
Just
Because
a little bit,
he did go as far back as possible,
Yeah,
right? Did he
absolutely.
pick up that template?
I think just for a moment, but he
Just
put
for
it
a moment,
back down, and he can readjust.
Yeah, okay. As
to-
long
to
as
where-
Joe's okay with it.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
We had some tournament refs here. Questionable. Okay, so no further movement was done, which
Yeah.
is completely legal.
Let's not be sticklers now. Fly casual. Fly
Oh,
casual,
sorry,
Jaws.
the fly casual professional store championship.
Professional store championship. Is this what you do for a living? Jeez, I didn't know.
I have fun.
You turned on that YouTube money and didn't tell me? Okay, I see how it is. I see what's going on
I
here.
have fun for a living. That's what I do. that's the Jaws way of life. Jiggy way of life. Let's keep getting jiggy. Okay, action. And stress from the rebel captive on the decimator. And it looks like it's a blank, which he's not going to waste the target lock on. And next shot will be from the pilot skill 12 something.
Wonderful.
That's the secret of this list.
What just happened?
I'm confused.
Yeah, no heroes ever got like 40 actions.
Where'd that barrel roll come from? Oh, he's just barrel rolling him so he can check the firing arc.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Okay.
It's like,
So
what card does he have? I haven't heard about this one.
Yeah, super advanced sensors.
Just, no, like really post sensors.
At the start of the combat. In the middle of the combat round, barrel roll whenever the hell you want. Costs 15 points. Take a free focus action.
Just have to remember to put him back after this.
Yeah, hopefully he remembers to do that. Jesus. Okay. So it looks like a range 3 shot. So Rourke triggered the X-Wing.
Okay.
I believe.
Triggered the X-Wing. Interesting.
For pilot skill 12, I believe. That's right? What?
Sure. He might have triggered Aaron Kraken, and then when Aaron shoots, and then Aaron will be able to, in response.
Oh, so yeah, he passed the swarm tactics to the X-Wing.
Okay.
After being made 12 himself.
I see. Yeah. So the B-Wing is the only one that's going to fire at the later date.
Right.
All right.
Missed a few green dice there.
I need to get that out of the way.
Come on, green dice. Don't let me down. I need the green dice so badly.
It'll get 6 blanks again.
So here is a ion cannon from the B-Wing on the Whisper, who has 2 evades and looks like is not going to be enough. Oh no.
The one hit.
Oh,
This is gonna hurt.
one shield down and ionized. The Phantom has no other option but to go forward 1 next turn.
Now, she can decloak in a few different ways. So there are going to be some options here.
But can she decloak because she can't set a movement?
Oh no, you're right. She totally can't decloak.
No, this is the devastativum of the Phantom.
Okay.
Not a word.
Well, so that means that Whisper keeps her cloak token here.
Gets cloaked. Has no additional little, bonus.
Right, is going to move 1 forward and crash.
It's going to crash.
So no focus or anything like that.
And
for
here you
defense.
got Joe just racking up the offense.
Yeah.
Target lock on Whisper. Got a crash set up already. A 1 forward from Rourke.
I'm a little surprised to see Rourke going before.
It looks like he just flipped a crit down. With that was his action, which we'll do a better job next time of making these crits visible to you. We're going to ask our pilots to, on the suggestion of Joaquin, we're going to have our pilots show their crits in front of the camera,
yes,
so that we know what the crits are.
Just until we all get those 4K cameras.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? So a 2-turn from the Decimator.
Still going to be in range 2 of the multi-crow.
Oh, for sure. And still ionized.
Yeah.
Half ionized.
But has turned away from the edge a little bit, which is good.
Right. and the action was to expose. So the Decimator's 0 evade will now remain 0 and add an offensive die.
Aren't you the lore guy? You should know this, right?
I'm not the lore guy. Remember, the only reason I know lore is
Deciding to go with that over target lock.
These are reminder cards. Very nice.
Gotta have that rebel captive, very important.
Oh yes. Can't tell you how many times I've forgotten anything, and I'm sure everyone's listening has at one point too. And now, Joe luxuriously inches the Whisper forward to crash into his B-wing.
The cloaked but very reliable in its location.
And here we have the PS triggers and the Kraken and X-Wing shooting first, even before Hanakon was on the table. What a shame.
Damn you, Lucas.
And a 2 attack die
Hitting a crit.
on
Or sorry, a hit and a focus.
hit and a focus.
Get a free action.
And that was 2 evades, at least from John. And the X-Wing will go next.
Determining range, looks like range 2 there. They want to make sure that they're getting it. Oh, they're determining whether swarm
range.
tactics?
Yeah, swarm tactics in range 1. Is that what we're doing?
No, it's not from the card.
After the oh no, the free action from Kraken. Right, we're doing the free
Oh,
action,
of
yeah.
course, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Very interesting.
Right.
I'll take a focus over here.
So I don't see why. Oh, that was the barrel roll action that we saw earlier. Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
Look,
We know
we
know
played
how to
this
play
game
X-Wing.
once before. It was great the one time we played, and then we started making YouTube videos.
Yeah,
you know?
we thought we'd cut out the middleman and just go straight into the YouTube business.
Yep.
Who needs to understand what cards do?
Yeah. Ooh, that looks like a really good roll. Couple crits and a hit, and a blank. Does that look like a
goodness.
blank?
Oh,
Oh no! Oh!
wow.
Oh!
One.
Believable. 2 crits and a shield. The Whisper's down.
Jeez. Well,
Oh
man.
no!
Whew.
That is tough to take.
Poor John. That's going to be huge for this game. He hasn't taken out a single ship. Rourke is on his last legs, and he's going to shoot at him presumably here, but
No, that's devastating.
he's going to use Shuri's ability. Wait, here's a
Expose,
reroll.
expose from the target lock. Wait, what's is this a concession? Or
Jeez,
what is
that'd
this?
be-
Or
that'd be a little
is
bit
Joe
soon. I think
is Joe just feeling really bad for for John and giving him a handshake?
I forgot to do this at the beginning of the game.
Oh
Let's get it
no!
in.
Let's get it in before you hate me.
Right. It's very important.
Of rolling another focus or a blank, so the numbers are slightly higher. I guess I'm going to refer to the straight. Yeah, well, I do know that.
Okay.
Okay, and oh, he's dead, right?
I believe we're down to.
Ah, there we go.
Oh yeah. Okay. Rourke being taken out by the Desi.
It's good, but
That's not a ship trade I would take ever.
right.
Fully shielded B-wings.
Shuri's still going to be beat on.
Never get that.
No, is no longer going to be beat on pilot skill because, well, Kraken has swarm tactics that can only
I think I got a shot on you,
go
but
7, but geez, that is going to be a lot of guns for Shuri to be dodging with no boost here.
2K.
Yeah, that is a lot.
The B-Wing takes its signature 2K turn. It's going to be right in the way of Shirinu there.
One straight.
Definitely going to lock things up pretty good. Kraken is pilot skill 8. Who has initiative here?
That's a good question. I'm sure you viewers at home are paying attention and know exactly who placed that first asteroid. So, and then this next round of shooting, we'll see who shoots first. But I want to say that I want to say that Kraken moved first. No, I want to say that the Decimator moved first before.
Ooh, we're going to see
We'll
a
see.
crash here from
We'll see.
Shiranu. This is going to be ugly.
So yeah, obviously,
Yeah, so
the Kraken does not have initiative
okay.
because it has not moved yet.
Okay, and I'm gonna do it.
So then we have just Shiri just flying around the board,
Yeah.
off the peg, just off his rocker right now, after such a devastating blow to his partner there in crime from the Whisper. That is a really, you know, with a rebel control ship build, it shouldn't be that surprising that Whisper went down that fast, but it's still always
It was-
impressive.
Joe is a master of pointing his ships in the right direction. And at the end of the day, even with all of the turrets in the meta, this is a game where people who can say, I know where you're going to go, and I'm going to point my ships in the right direction, are going to win. And I'm not sure that anybody is better at that than Joe. He just knows where you're going and has been excellent at not giving John any good maneuvering options these past couple of rounds.
Very true. Range 1 shot. Coming at Kraken, I assume.
A hit and a crit.
And 1 evade. So we'll take 1 shield off of Kraken. And that's not enough.
With
Because
Kraken
now we have a
and-
3 gun shot. And it's a hit and 2 crits! Oh!
Okay.
Wow. Hitting 2 crits. That's not a fair trade once again. This game is swinging hard in one direction.
He gets a focus.
And here we have the X-Wing taking its range 2 shot.
John flipped
After the
the-
free action from Kraken. So target lock focus
And mutual stress.
and mutual stress.
And you get a stress.
What a beast.
We're remembering that Kraken should be stressed from Rebel
From Rebel
Captive.
Captive, indeed.
Stress is for everyone. John appeared to... Oh man, that's a lot
huge.
of things.
That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of those damage hits.
Those damage hits.
Those damage cards from the damage deck. The Decimator is now down to 7 hull left.
And that 7 hull will disappear out from under no defense dice very quickly with this many guns on it. And I think that with just a few smart maneuvers, you should be able to keep him pretty well blocked using that lower pilot skill to great advantage here. Joe is.
It's hard now to get away from this in any fashion without that engine upgrade there to help you. These ships are going to consistently stay within range 1 and just slowly tick-tock and a tick-tock away.
And getting nice and in your way with that barrel roll. Good stuff.
Here comes another crash, I assume.
Okay, so Yasan is going to fire now, so there will be the chance to use experimental interface. The question is going to be, can the Decimator afford to take the stress from an experimental interface on top of the stress that it's already going to be dished from R3A2 is the name of the mutual stress.
Right.
And yeah, scary stuff.
It is.
Okay. Kraken's gonna do a 1 straight.
A lot of what has been so effective in John's combo here is definitely being made less effective by R3A2. Only the X-Wing will get a shot this round. Everyone else has
That
gotten a little
seems-
bit too cozy.
That seems
Whole bunch
way
of
more than
cuddling.
enough at this point, you know.
Yeah. Shiranu
There's
takes
the evade.
from Yasan.
And now the hex pose or the target lock.
That's a good question. That's if he wants to get stressed again, though.
If he wants to take the stress from the Experimental interface.
This might be his best chance. He'll, just be
Yeah, I mean, he's
stressed
only-
again after...
Right. And he's shooting at that, the one ship this round, so... But he's going to be double stressed if he decides to do that, which is a tough decision to make. But John's got to take some risks at this
would
point.
he be
if he's gonna have a
hoping...
chance.
You're not going to blow the X-Wing out of the sky with one shot.
Yeah, in one shot.
It's-
I mean, so the X-Wing's at full hull, so it's like...
Yeah.
What do you do here? I think he's just going to take the range one shot and
Not take any more
not
stress.
take any stress. Yeah, and
So that's a lot of focus. Wishing that...
a lot of wishing that he had taken a focus action, I guess.
or a...
Oh, he couldn't have taken.
reroll
Yeah, and he
for-
couldn't have taken a focus action because he had because he bumped into.
Right, so the only thing that he could have picked with the experimental interface would have been exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get another stress.
But to no avail. And now we have a mutually stressed pair here, with a target lock being rolled, and is that another 3 hits
Ooh.
and a crit? 2 hits and a crit
So we're down to 4 hull here, and Sheridan...
after using the evade from Hassan.
Oh, and that's including
So
the
2 hits and
evade.
a crit, yeah. But that was a very successful roll for Joe. Continuing his trend.
The X-Wing
really
is
good
going to
rolls this
lose a
game.
little bit of stress, but isn't going to either be able to take an action now or receive an action from Kraken, because she'll stay stressed for this round.
And taking her nice and around in the boot with the 2K turn for the B-Wing.
This B-Wing will not leave this decimator alone. They've been flying in tandem as
Yeah.
the B-Wing flips around and does all these cool things.
Ooh, and looks like he's going to fit right beside. Oh, he bumped. But are we going to count that as a? Yeah, that's a bump, right?
Where is this fitting? Oh, they're trying to measure out
Yeah.
where it should land. That's interesting.
I think they're going to count it as a fly by instead of a fly
very
into.
interesting. That's very
Which-
good for John.
For John, yes.
Yeah, he definitely
Also,
doesn't. He definitely
it's
does not
also-
want to be stuck.
It's also really good for
Right, there-
Joe.
Okay, you're right. There are very few things that are going really good for John. Right now. So, but not being stuck in front of the B-Wing is definitely one of them.
So this might be the last round. I don't see how
Yeah.
John can get out of this one. This is a tight hole to be in.
We'll see what kind of turns. I guess, John is still thinking about.
He has initiative, so he gets one shot at something here.
Right.
But you have a B-Wing at full hull. You have full shields and full hull. You
Target
have
locked the X-Wing
Yep,
rather
you
than
have-
Kraken.
you have the X-Wing that can still devastate you here,
I guess his.
and he's hoping that he bumps into him.
Right. No, you're right. That's very smart. Assuming that he won't be able to
and
shoot.
this was a one bank from Joe, which just perfect. he should have 3 shots on this decimator that only has 4 hull
No,
left.
you're right. This is done. In fact, John would have preferred to have crashed
Oh, of
into
course.
the B-Wing because then
Yeah. And I
then
think
the B-Wing wouldn't be able to shoot, and then Aaron would have crashed.
would have crashed.
That
And then
been
he would have
wonderful
gotten
for him.
another shot at the X-Wing. This round would have been very different.
Yeah, no, you're right. That would have been much better for John.
But we do. I feel like it was really close, and the ship kind of just got placed really quickly and bound and
They
hit
looked
into
at
the
it
side.
for a moment. I would have felt better if I guess we didn't allow John to move around, because then he would have bothered our camera. So we'll take our bad for that John didn't get to move around the table.
Yeah,
and-
so that
and
he could move the
inspect
ship. Yeah,
himself.
whenever it's that close, I like to let the other player kind of, move his own ship. I know John's done that courtesy towards me as far as, being in control of your own fate.
Yeah, I can understand. At the same time, sometimes I don't want to be trying to reach over the entire table to get him moving. I'll still probably get a more realistic approach having my opponent with it.
So John will take his range one shot on Kraken now, it looks like. This is 5 dice. And it's going to be 2 crits. Maybe 3 crits and 2 hits. That looks like a really good roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking out
it is.
Kraken.
Kraken is down for the count.
Okay, thank goodness John got in a couple good rolls here, because this otherwise could have been really ugly. This is still probably going to be
So now
the
Joe's
last
taking the cards here.
doing the formalities.
That's it. It matters. That's the thing.
No, not at this point. Joe's going to win.
Maybe not.
And even then, I'm still not quite convinced.
We'll let Joe talk to you about that again next time then.
Sure. No, I understand. For the store championships, yeah, deal it out. Deal it out.
And a reroll after a hit. And 3 hits. Coming from the simultaneous
the
fire.
simultaneous fire. That's pretty important.
And I don't know what that.
Something to do with that crit
he's
that we
just,
don't know about?
No, he's just rolling a red die because he can't do anything about
He's
evading.
just frustrated, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yay, dice!
Look, a red
I can
die.
roll dice too.
Not as good as Joe.
I don't want to roll green dice, that would be confusing right now, but we all know.
Yeah,
Yay,
double
stress.
stress. Look at all that stress on the board right now.
Oh my
It's,
goodness.
red sea.
And here
of
comes
stress.
the murder.
There it is.
That's the last hit. There's some shaking hands.
And that's the game. Congratulations to Joe for winning in the 3rd round of the Compleat Strategist Store Championship.
Here, looking at the scoreboard, we see that James B is now in 1st place, having beaten Matt K on the 2nd table. He'll be coming into the 4th round with the number 1 seed, and we'll see him with Joe in our next video. He and Joe are the only unbeaten star pilots still left in the tourney. Alex D beat David R on the 3rd table. Alex will be playing John next round. Our old buddy Mike K will play Matt in round 4. He just pulled into the top 6 by beating 2013 Dutch national champion and all-around nice guy. Oh no, Westerhurst.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's cool.
Thanks for watching NYC X-Wing Store Championship video. Tune in next round where we see if Joe can hold down the top table for New York City, or whether James B of the South Jersey Philly scene can come in and prove himself the more rebellious pilot. Which one can buck the meta more with their 4-ship rebel build? Find out next time on NYC X-Wing.
Thanks to Minu Allen for providing the photography. Check out her Vimeo, and thank you to Spaceman Fantastiques for the tunes. Look him up on his Bandcamp, please. You can find their links in the description. Follow us at NYC X-Wing on Twitter and join the conversation on our Facebook group. For NYC X-Wing, I'm Jaws.
And I'm Cal Neuvost. Fly casual.